But how can I be consistent? The most commonly asked question I get. I kid you not. Every day. But why do we all struggle with consistency so much? Is it TikTok brain rot? Is it the fact that none of us are consistent, or that we just have the shortest attention spans ever? I struggled with this problem for so many years, and after trying so many different methods in my personal life, I have officially cracked the code, which is exactly why I'm making this video, to teach you how. Because the thing is, we are not trying to live life how we did last year, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I want every single thing on my vision board right over there to come true at the end of the year. And you know how we're gonna guarantee that we achieve our dream life and everything we want? Through consistency. See, consistency is the bridge between who you are right now and who you could be. Because when you commit yourself to something for a long time, you're naturally going to change for the better. So this video is the easy, practical, and ultimate guide to staying consistent in all of your endeavors so you can ensure that this year is not like any of the others. Before we get into it, be sure to check out the description below, because if you didn't know, and if you're new here, every single channel I have on social media is dedicated to helping you level up into the best version of yourself. I make 1-minute videos on TikTok every single day to do with self-development. I have 3 different YouTube channels. I have a podcast. I just came out with my very own guided journal. It's called Obsessed with Growth, and every single page strategically helps you grow into a better and elevated version of yourself. I also wrote a book, which is the ultimate guide to self-love, and I even have a newsletter you can sign up to, which sends you exclusive tips, links to resources, and all of the things that I use on a week-to-week basis on how you can also level yourself up. And lastly, I want to give a big thank you to Skillshare, who are kindly sponsoring this video. If you've been watching my vlog channel, then you know I love to take Skillshare classes in my free time. But right now, on Skillshare, I'm actually taking a productivity masterclass. This class was created by none other than Ali Abdaal, the absolute king of productivity and an amazing YouTuber. And that's why I love platforms like Skillshare, because it gives me that easy and efficient ability to constantly be learning and discovering new methods that could very well, and I mean have, changed my life for the better. If you didn't know, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creators, with a wide depth and breadth of topics ranging from illustration, graphic design, photography, to music, marketing, productivity, and so much more. Classes are taught by industry experts who are so excited to share all of their tools, expertise, and insider knowledge with you. This way you get access to people's professional journeys that have taken them years to master simply by sitting in your bedroom, literally just watching a video on your laptop. I love it. But if you're a much more practical learner and you want to be really hands-on and immerse yourself in the experience of learning your desired skill on Skillshare, then you are also going to love my favorite feature about Skillshare, which is their learn by doing approach to teaching. This is where members can create and share a project after completing their class and then get feedback from their community, which I just think helps you reap even more benefits from the work that you're putting in. You can try it yourself today to make sure that you are actually staying accountable to becoming your best self in 2025 by clicking the link below in my description. Chapter number 1, understanding consistency and the difficulty of it. Girl, I heard you don't even know what consistency is. No, but for real, so many people confuse the term consistency with discipline. They are 2 completely different things. Let me break it down for you, because it's only once you understand it that you can finally overcome the problem. The definition of consistency: somebody who is consistent is somebody who behaves in the same way, has the same attitude towards people or things, or achieve the same level of success in something for an extended period of time. Discipline, on the other hand, is when you consistently push yourself to do things regardless of your feeling to do them, right? So it's about, I don't feel like working out, but you're gonna get up and you're gonna do the same thing anyway. Consistency, on the other hand, is about going to the gym at the same time in your morning routine for months and months and months. So why is consistency so damn hard? Well, it actually all links into our dopamine, which I found so interesting. Once I understood this, oh my God, this read me to filth. Since the new year just started, I'll use that as an example, right? It's the first day or the first week of 2025, and you want to be that girl with the healthy morning routine who wakes up at 6 a.m. every single day. I'm sure you know people, or you have done many times throughout many New Years, woken up at 6 a.m., meditated, had your healthy breakfast, you felt so good about it. 3 months later, Was it gone? End of the year, you can barely remember when you were living through that routine, but you found it so easy in the beginning. Why? Because it feels good to set those routines. We get a dopamine spike when we just think about making healthy choices for ourselves or doing right by ourselves. That's the thing that gives us this rush of motivation and discipline, which gets us to do the task initially, but the consistency tends to wear off. And that's because once you've done that healthy habit a few times and the habit is set, there's no more dopamine spikes around it, because it's now your new normal. And that's exactly why it's time to debunk some myths around consistency. Consistency has nothing to do with discipline, as we know from that piece of research. Consistency is actually just all about the relationship you have with yourself. And what I mean by that is trusting your abilities, self-belief, and knowing that you are reliable and that you always show up to stick through on your promises. Because breaking those promises to yourself and not showing up for yourself is a pattern. It becomes this code and this identity of who you are and how you do things in your life. A person with self-belief and a person with strong self-love who knows exactly who they are and fully believes in their ability to do anything despite having no experience in it, they are always going to show up. For example, a person who's been making YouTube videos and is on 700,000 subscribers, they know they can feel that 1 million plaque coming, right? So they show up still every single week and they continue to do it. Whereas the YouTuber who's also been on YouTube for a very long time but is struggling to hit 1,000 subscribers, they're not showing up. They're not consistent. They don't feel like they can do it. They doubt their ability to reach that goal, which is why they can't get there. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, it's easy for the person with 700,000 subscribers to show up consistently because they're close. They've already had the success. They're getting there. Hold up. Rewind. The person with 700,000 subscribers was in the exact same place as the person who was struggling to hit 1,000 in the first place. They were there. And I'll tell you exactly why. Me. This story is based on me. I was stuck on 1,000 subscribers for 3 years. 3 years. And now, because I finally started showing up. Because for 3 years, I was inconsistent. Because for 3 years, I was waiting for the results to just come and fall right into my lap for me to become an overnight success. And that was making me doubt my abilities in myself because I was like, why don't I have it yet? It's been 3 years. It was the second that even when I had 1,000 subscribers, I started acting like that plaque had my name written all over it. That's what gave me the push to start showing up every single week because that vision, that visualization made me start believing in myself. And then that ended up coming within 1 year of making that decision. And that leads us right into chapter number 2, practical fixes to becoming a more consistent person in every single thing you do. Okay, so let's say you have this one thing that you really want to be consistent in and you just can't do it no matter how hard you try. Well, hack number 1 is that thing you want to be consistent in has to be tied to a personal value. And if you're doubting whether I'm right, let me just prove you wrong real quick. Let's take self-care or doing your makeup or even doing your skincare in the morning and at night as an example. You are so consistent with that. You do it all the time. And most of you even enjoy it and love it and want to keep buying more skincare products because social media glamorizes it. And because of that, it has in turn become a part of your personal values that tie into your values of I want to be beautiful, I want to have clear skin, I want to feel good about myself, I want to be in my feminine energy, I want to take care of myself. You value having or doing or being all of those things, and doing your skincare is the action of that, so you find it so easy and you do it every single day. But your work, on the other hand, which you can't be consistent in, you have no values around it. Your mindset instantly when you have to sit down and do some work is, oh, I have to work. Oh, I have to work all day for 8 hours. Oh, it's so boring. I wish I could do literally anything else. Who is ever going to be consistent when you think like that about something? Okay, so then how do we fix this? We turn doing that work task, let's say, for example, you have a business and you're really struggling to show up every single day to put in the work. It's not about, I have to sit down and work on this business. I have to sit down and make 20 Instagram posts for the business in a month, because that just sounds so boring and so icky and so long and difficult. That task is now tied to the personal value of, I'm just inevitably taking something off my vision board, which is going to get me closer to my goal. Or sitting down for 3 hours to make 20 Instagram posts to batch for the month means that I get to attract even more customers, which brings me more money, which then adds to my personal value of having financial abundance so that I can live my life in the way that I choose. How much more fun does that seem now? Another great example of being consistent once you tie it to your values is, for years, I hated healthy eating. Like, couldn't do it, hated it. I love comfort food. I love junk food. My diet was 90% of processed food. I am quite embarrassed to admit, and I just couldn't get around the eating whole foods, right? Now I do it so easily and I'm completely turned off of junk food. Like I literally mostly eat just veggies and protein. And the reason it was so easy to become so consistent in that almost overnight was simply because I had learned so much about the dangers of eating unhealthy food and not having a healthy diet. I learned that it can increase your cortisol, it can cause a hormonal imbalance, it can cause inflammation in your body, in your face, it can even affect your appearance. Those are tied into my personal values. Now it's not about, oh, I have to sit down and eat a plate of broccoli. It's, I can't wait to eat the plate of broccoli because it's going to benefit me and my lifestyle in literally so many ways. Hack number 2 to becoming a consistent person is you need to prepare yourself for failure. Yes, I said that right, because consistency is not about perfection. The reason people always fall short from consistency is because they think they need to perform in the exact same way every single time. But girl, you are not a robot. You cannot show up every single day in the exact same way with the exact same thought and the same energy and the same vibe and the same ideas all the time. You're gonna have really good days where you're feeling on top of the world and you wanna work out for longer, and you're gonna have other days where you literally don't wanna move and you just wanna stay inside away from the big scary world. Both are completely okay. Both do not have to make you an inconsistent human being, because it's all about persistence. We said consistency by definition is about doing something for an extended period of time, right? It's about showing up for yourself every single day. Now we need to cater that to the fact that we are humans with emotions, with difficult things that go on in everybody else's lives, and we need to be able to hold space for ourselves to be able to deal with those things and still do everything we want to do. And that is where the power of varying routines comes into play. So let's take a morning routine, for example, right? A general morning routine, I want to wake up, I want to have my breakfast, I want to meditate, I want to move my body in some way, do some exercise. On the days where I'm feeling my best, I'm not going through a lot of stuff. I'm going to be aiming for that best routine where I'm ticking off everything I want to tick off. I'm going to push myself hard. On other days where I'm feeling low energy, life is stressing me out, I've got a lot on my plate, we're going to tick off all of the same things, but in a different capacity to also take care of ourselves. So we're going to wake up earlier, but give ourselves an extra 30 minutes in bed. We're still going to move our body, but instead of going to the gym for an hour, we'll do 30 minutes. And then you have your third routine, which is for your off days, right? Let's say you're on your period, you're feeling kind of sick, you are sad about something, you just want to have a complete day off. That's fine. We can still tick everything off. Instead of going to the gym at all, you go for a 10-minute walk, go get your favorite latte. You're treating yourself, you're getting fresh air, sunlight, and movement, but in a way that suits you, your needs, and your capacity that day. If you read my book, Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers, which is the ultimate guide to self-love, I actually have a complete guide of the 3 varying routines in the book. And that links me into my next point, which is all about check off the task, not the method. You want to be someone who meditates every single day? Fine. On the days that you're busy, your schedule is hectic, don't worry about meditating for 10 minutes and pulling out the guided meditation music and opening the app and finding a yoga mat or a patch of grass to sit on. Do it for 1 minute in your office chair. That's so easy. Who doesn't have the time to do that? And then becoming consistent in all of the things you want to do becomes a whole lot easier. Hack number 3, the reason that humans can't be consistent is because, especially in this day and age, we are programmed and wired, and we have grown accustomed to immediate rewards and immediate dopamine spikes, especially because of apps like TikTok and just social media in general, and having phones where everything we would ever want is available at our fingertips within seconds, within minutes, whether it's food, whether it's video, a piece of information. So then when we have to sit down and show up for something every single day, or we're training to run a marathon or learn a new language, that takes time. There's no quick fix around it. You can't chat GPT that. And then that's what makes the task icky. Of course you don't want to do it. Of course you don't want to be consistent. So the way around this is to start adding rewards in throughout your day to give your brain that dopamine spike that it is so badly craving. So one way I do this every single day is when I have a large chunk of work to do, e.g. writing one of my self-help newsletters, which takes literally 5 or 6 hours, what I say to myself is, you just have to sit down, do the first chunk, and then you're allowed to open all your parcels. I want to open my new clothes. I want to see what I got in the mail, but I'm not allowed to do it until I sit down to do the thing. Immediately, that makes me want to get through it so I can go and do the thing that I actually want to do. Same for the days that I don't want to go to the gym to work out. I'm like, if you just go to the Pilates class, go to the gym, you can go on a nice sunny walk after and treat yourself to a matcha. And I'm like, instantly, yes, I want to go. You have to give yourself that incentive consistently to be able to consistently do a task, at least in the beginning stages, and then that habit will start to form, and then you can start getting away from those rewards. Hack number 4 is to actually plan for consistency. Too many people make the mistake of thinking, in 2025, I really want to be consistent with working out and being my healthiest self. Okay, how? What time? Where? When? What's the routine? How's it going to fit into your schedule? If you had a really busy day, then how are you going to go about it? And I find that when we're planning for consistency, let's say every single morning you're going to wake up at 7 a.m. and you really want to meditate in your morning routine. Okay, let's set a time and place for that to really solidify it in your brain and make associations that helps making that habit feel more consistent. For example, in the morning, the second you wake up, you don't even have to crawl out of bed yet, okay? Alarm goes off, you turn it off, you stay in bed, sit up, and do 2 minutes of meditation or 2 minutes of visualization or 2 minutes of EFT tapping, then you get out of bed and go about your day. That way, there's no thinking or worrying about how am I going to be consistent and how am I going to do this thing, because it's falling into your daily routine and you know exactly where and when you're going to do it. No ifs and buts. And this links into my next hack, which is my favorite. If you want to be consistent with something, you need to add it onto a task or habit that you already do that you are super consistent with. A great example of this is brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you wake up, you do it first thing in the morning, okay? Nobody needs to remind you. It's the easiest thing in the world to be consistent with. You can then pair that onto something that you are struggling to be consistent with. I would always forget to look at my vision board every single day. If you don't look at your vision board, there was literally no point in making it. It's not gonna work. The visualization isn't there. The manifestation is not happening, girl, okay? We need to look at it, but I'd always forget. And you also need to look at it for an extended period of time. You can't just look at it while walking across your room and just seeing it in the side of your eye. You need to look at it for like minutes. You need to take it in. You need to look at those images and place yourself in those images. You need to start building up an emotional connection to how those images on your board make you feel to actually be able to manifest them. To this day, I even did it this morning while I'm brushing my teeth. My bathroom door is right over there. I come out, I stand by the vision board. While I'm brushing my teeth for 2 minutes, I'm staring at every single image. It's the easiest thing in the world. It takes no extra time in my day. I don't need to remember it, and the habit is formed because the second I start brushing my teeth, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I know what to look at. Another example is I always listen to high frequency healing music when I take my morning shower, because I'm not going to listen to that music on my daily commute. I'm not going to do it when I'm trying to walk and strut through the streets like a fashion model, okay? I'm not going to feel like it, but I know I want to listen and heighten my vibration. Doing it morning shower, associate them together, you're always going to remember. The next hack is to remember the consequence. This is so powerful. The way this makes me so consistent in my habits, and what I mean by remember the consequence is you need to know what happens if you don't do what you're setting out to do. If you want to be your healthy self, if you want to be able to go to the gym every single day, but you just aren't a gym girly, I want you to start researching, watching videos, search on ChatGPT. What happens if someone doesn't work out consistently? What effect does that have on them? Let it give you the ick, because that is what will motivate you. For example, to this day, I still hate going to the gym. I will never be a gym girly. It's just not in me. Now I go so consistently because I did enough research to understand if I don't go to the gym at least 3 times a week, I'm gonna feel sluggish. It's gonna impact my energy. It's gonna impact my health. I'm gonna have high cortisol. I also know people who go to the gym, it helps them hack their happy hormones. Why would I not wanna be the happiest version of myself and be the most highest, fully functioning human being while all of their hormones are in the best place simply because they just went to do the 45 minute workout? As we're now coming to the end of the video, I really want to solidify these ideas in you because I'm not about to let you invest the time in watching this video just to turn it off, forget everything I said, and not actually action any of it, okay? So I need to bring back 2 girls who have been long forgotten for a while. Let's bring them out, Lola and Athena. So now let's look at the difference between someone who has mastered consistency simply because of these mindset shifts that I've spoken about in the video versus somebody who just isn't working on it. They're just like, I'm just not consistent, so that's it. I really want to be a content creator full time, but it's just so hard to post all the time. Like, I don't know what to do, and I'm so busy with everything else that I just forget. It has always been my lifelong dream to be a content creator, and while I still got school and a part-time job, I figured out that Instagram and all of my other favorite social platforms have scheduling features, and I know that every Sunday morning I have a little bit of spare time, so I'm gonna plan ahead and make sure all of my content is batched, and I'll simply pair the action of sitting down to schedule all of that social media content with my Sunday morning reset routine, which I love and do every single week. So then it's just so easy. I've always wanted to write a book, but it's just so hard. And I keep having writer's block. Like, I just don't feel inspired every single day. And I don't know if what I want to write about is even good enough. So how can I do this? I am so determined to make sure that I write my dream book in 2025. Every single day I wake up with a different mindset and different energy, and I never ever feel inspired. But I found out that I can just use the 3-minute rule to make sure that I'm showing up for myself every single day. That way I can literally just write a sentence. But according to this productivity principle, even if I write for 3 minutes already, that will get my juices flowing, get me out of any writing blocks, and actually influence me to end up writing more than I had initially planned. It's win-win. And then that way I don't have the pressure to have to write for 8 hours every single day, because that's just too icky. Consistency is just so hard. I feel like people either have it or they don't. Like, I'm just not focused like that. I can't stay on a task for that long. I just get so easily distracted. I don't know what to do. Like, I watch all the YouTube videos, but just nothing changes. So, oh no, it can be so easy, like just taking my supplements every single day and not forgetting about them by having a reminder in my phone and making sure I look at it every single day, or going to bed at the same time every single day, or making sure I read 3 pages of a book every single day. It does not need to be big or fancy. Just doing one promise changes everything. You see the difference? And that brings us to the final chapter of the video, the homework chapter. If you're new here, at the end of every single one of my YouTube videos and every single one of my podcast episodes, we also have a homework chapter to make everything you learned super practical and actionable so that you can start the second you click off this video. Task number 1, I want you to fixate on the one thing you want to be consistent at. Your brain is too muddled, sis. You got too many things going on. And I get it, okay? Beginning of a year, you have so many things you want to achieve this year. Focus on one, okay? Even I, with all of my New Year's resolutions, I split them up into months because you're just going to overwhelm yourself. I want you to pick one thing you want to become a master person at, super consistent with it every single day. And you're going to channel all of your time and effort into that, because I promise you, it takes becoming consistent at one thing to start changing your identity, start changing your relationship with yourself, and then everything else will become easy. So figure out what that is. Homework task number 2 is to use journaling in your favor. When you figured out what you want to be consistent with, I think journaling is a great method, especially for me, when I know I have to write about my day in the morning or in the evening. I remember that as I'm living out my day, I'm like, I'm gonna have to write about this. Or like, I wrote in my journal this morning that this is what I wanted to achieve today. I'm gonna have to hold myself accountable a little bit. And I think journaling is such a great way to do that. You can even use a blank notebook. That's what I did for so long. But if you do wanna get a guided journal, I have the perfect one. Every single day you get a double page spread where you recap your day, you say what you're grateful for, you write down what you want in your life, and then you have a checklist which keeps you accountable every single day for you to recap the next day. This links into homework task number 3, which is all about manifestation and visualization. Your life is gonna change once you start shifting outside of your limiting beliefs and what you think that you're bad at. I have always been a night owl who couldn't wake up early. On my vision board for this year is to start waking up at 5 a.m. Guess who's been waking up at 5 a.m.? I could not do it all 2024. But when I put this goal on my vision board, I was like, how the hell am I going to achieve this? And I thought, you know what? I need to get out of my limiting mindset, and I needed to tell myself I can do this easily. But on top of that, because I'm looking at that vision board every single day, which has a 5 a.m. alarm on it, I have to start thinking like that and placing myself in that reality. I truly believe that is exactly what helped me get up at 5 a.m. so easily, when my whole life I struggled with it. But again, another really easy way to do this is by something called future self journaling. You get a page of future self journaling after every 7 entries in my journal. This is actually a really good tried and tested manifestation technique where you are writing to your future self. Because if you are telling your future self what you want them to have achieved, where you want to be at, again, you're getting out of the identity that has been holding you back for so long. And the last homework task is to get your ish together. Okay, start planning, set the systems in place, download a habit tracker, get an accountability partner, have a checklist that you're taking off every single day. Figure out where these consistencies are going to fall in your routine, what time, what place, and figure out a plan. Please do not freestyle this, because at least that way you'll be able to achieve all of your goals much faster and more efficiently. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That does bring us to the end of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. This video has been a long time coming because you guys literally ask for this every single week and it was so fun filming it for you. If you have any more video suggestions, I'm always asking and also writing down all of your suggestions in my broadcast channel on Instagram. It's completely free to join. And as always, be sure to check out the description with all of the offerings I have for you to help you become your best self this year. I am wishing you the best week. I am wishing that you become so successful and so confident in everything that you're about to achieve this year. The energy of this year feels so different and so good. I'm so excited for all of us. And as always, I will see you same time next week on Friday for a brand new video. I appreciate you. Bye.